Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the new Crusader Kings 3 series here on the Lord Master channel. And Merry Christmas to everyone watching it on Christmas Day. But if you are watching it on some another day, well, happy day to all of you too. Well, anyways, this was last episode, the second episode of the series, was quite hectic in regards to travel. That took up for most of the video. From Bari to Mecca, in and around the Black Sea, and all those things where I feel like, man, I should have hired a sea captain, or man, should have brought more traveling companions with you just to make the travel even safer. That was by far the most perilous journey I've ever had. But nevertheless, it made me an experienced traveler. So this shouldn't happen again, hopefully, on some cases. And I won't do any more traveling for the time being, unless there's a real excuse for it, such as attending a feast, a tournament, or hunting by my only, landed vassal. Our main priority is stay at home, focus on starting a proper family, and make a lot of money through taxes. And hopefully my tax collector can get to work, even though he has 2 taxpayers, but still, you get the idea. Because I wish to expand on the military a bit, for the size of the men-at-arms. And knowing that we plan on going on the offensive soon, we need to get siege weaponry. So we should start saving money on these. So I'm giving myself 5 years or so to unlock Ducal Conquest so we can reduce the title creation cost, because we plan on expanding southward to Calabria. Because we noticed that the Byzantine princes, or Thessalia Don Roman, also known as Roman Empire or Eastern Roman Empire, depending on whichever you call it, which is in the setting, by the way. You could change that in game rules of the name of the Byzantine Empire. Anyways, so they've lost Syracuse, Malta, and this part here. Now, it would be wise to expand towards Calabria, preferably all of them, because there's this decision: rebuke Roman revanchism for Sicily, which is to remove Sicily from its German Empire. So that way we don't want to have that anymore, so you can stop interfering in our affairs, which would take a while to get rid of them, knowing how strong they are and how little we are. But they are currently at war right now, for a holy war for Silesia, the Nahang of Silesia. So at least they're kept busy, which one would think I would take the opportunity to, get a piece of their land. But again, we're ill-equipped for such a task. So the best option is to wait. Oh, and I mentioned earlier about travel. Since I gained a bit of wandering XP, and some of you people might be thinking, you should be having more XP than that, because you've been traveling on and you went through all the trials and tribulations, to hell and back and all that. So I decided to add one more mod for this video series, and that is called Wandering XP for traveling, or while traveling. So basically every province or barony you visit, you gain 20 XP, which of course in vanilla it would be 1,000, and you would be getting that in a hurry when you travel along. But with Dark Ages, since it goes up to 3,000, I believe that's kind of fair. Even though I do have plans to switch to that lifestyle once I get done with this. And maybe one more program if we're lucky to get that as well at some point in the future. Now, family. I do have one daughter, as in it. which unfortunately she's the daughter of Zainab, who passed in childbirth after previous failed attempts of getting a child, but the one she managed to give birth to was also her own undoing. She was a pretty woman, and not to mention she was my lover. Known her for years, and I feel a little bit sad about that. I don't know I have you, but I fear that may not be enough. I'm 42 years old, and we should start looking for more spouses. But the one thing I would like to have is an alliance with Benevento, our former enemy, yes, since they're more willing to be accepted. How old are you? 52. You are not married, so would it be wise if you were to betroth to my young daughter here? To you? As says no, because faith differs from mine. Oh, is that so? How can it? Despite the fact the rules specifically says that interfaith marriages are available between involved characters. I think it's probably one of those things in a mod. Well, I mean, one, the guy I was trying to go through the lines to, actually he's outside of the struggle reach, so that does not matter. Oh, right, my mistake. Oh, that's a daughter. I'm looking for another example. See, there you go. Okay. My mistake. Because he was outside of the struggle region. Though I would have liked to have an alliance with an event, though. Because he's the one that feels like he could be a potential equal to mine, like the only credible threat in the near term for southern Italy besides Byzantium, even though Byzantium's busy right now. Yeah, no one is available for marriage on your end. And maybe one day, if I feel like if things don't go my way, I would request an expedition to try to get rid of you. Same could be said for smaller entities. Say, you know, you who do have an alliance with them, and I kind of feel bad about those fellow Berbers down there, that they'd lost a piece of their territory, and I thought, well, I could request an expedition to say, hey, come over here, make you want to settle in Sorrento or somewhere along those lines. You can't do it against Byzantium because it lives outside the struggle region. I could swear fealty, but why on earth would I want to do that? And you can of course ship it from Sicilian grain since he's the one that owns the land. This is what it does. Development, control growth, and popular opinion. Whenever you may need it. And you might gain or lose legitimacy depending on the court and the subject's reaction to the grain deal. And for him, he gets prestige and gold. Might gain or lose legitimacy in how they react over there. And every counter I own, control increases by 50 in development. 80, so useful when things are out of control in the realm. But no, we are in control. And I want to make sure of that. Do not want to make an alliance with Salerno because that will be an area of conquest in future. Hey, what say you? I mean, sure, there's no alliance, but knowing that your old man's going to be going away soon, and you are the son of the heir to Amalfi, at least we can have some connection. Ah! Of course, it won't do matrilineal. But still, betrothal just to have at least a future alliance with Amalfi. Whenever the old man is gone, then to negotiate an alliance with them to come along with us. So that's an idea. But one more check. Naples, Napoli, ammonia, Sicily, slain in battle. Aha! Okay, this is a much better one. Because they've been through a lot, because they were subjected to raids, and strongholds were established. So, Georgios, the grandson of Georgios III, who is the heir to Napoli, obviously will not accept matrilineal. And perhaps one day we could be neighbors. And we'll cooperate. And we need someone of substantial strength whenever we fight a war against Byzantium eventually. So that's for my daughter. But now, spouses. And none of those sin. Woman from all the way over there. Oh, that's the mother. Not okay. But she is a lowborn, but can have a potential alliance. That will not do. Looking for notable women, not, you know, a balut. Not sure about that. Keep looking. You may get lucky if it's notable with a there's a Sephardic Jewish woman, greedy, which is sinful. But here's the thing: she's got stewardship and martial, whereas my current spouse cannot compare. So it's possible I might make her the primary wife unless I find a better one, but you'll do. So there you again, no alliance, just I simply want someone with chance to have more children, so therefore more wives, and may make you my primary wife because you've got the skills that will help me out of what I'm trying to create here in regards to Anya. Now, anyone else? Just turned 16. Skill wise. That's a mid-wrist. Islamic syncrete. But that's of a West Iranic faith. That's very different. And also far away, because as she's Assyrian. Content but deceitful. Seems contradictory. Somewhat dishonorable, somewhat cruel. Keep looking. That's tempting, but she's a lowborn. I don't do lowborns. Because it costs prestige. And legitimacy. Especially legitimacy. Someone younger. High learning, high intrigue. You might make a good spy master. Just a wanderer who is a prolific pilgrim. Gone through pilgrimages before. You'll do. Now, number 3. Now I need someone with high diplomacy, because you got, you know, one who's got both of these skills, one with these skills. Now, who's the best at diplomacy? That is notable. Only picking the first one that I see. Sultana of Al-Andalus. Well, that's a big one. But I don't want to get dragged into whatever wars that they may have in the Iberian struggle of theirs. And also, I can't wait a few years. Lust, bingo. Even though not as skilled or varied as I hope, but she'll have to do. She'll be loyal. Generous, lustful, calm. Yeah. That'll do. That's how we're gonna get started with the family. They'll be on their way, so that's another thing. Hope they'll have safer travels. And have a potential alliance with Napoli. Because, you know, it does not start an alliance. Or we can establish it as an alternative, but gotta have high diplomacy for this, which I do. But it may cost money. You may want to look at that again. Read that again. To be successful in this interaction, you need to rely on a positive difference in ranking your target. Your high diplomacy on a very high diplomacy of your chancellor, on a good opinion of the target about you, and on being a diplomat, being shrewd, and being gregarious, which I am. Conversely, the number of alliances you already have, which I have none. Well, one, actually. Low diplomacy of your target, negative opinion, if I'm dull, and all that. Let's play it safe and just try to sway him. Oh, wounded by bandits. Hope she doesn't get killed. Died of her wounds, I should say. While I sit here and make my fortune. And Menza got mauled by a bear. Alright, she's here. Hopefully we can trick your wounds. Ah yes, Akbar, who's Siculo-Arabic. We met him down in Egypt. Though nobody dared to dream it, it appears there's been a breakthrough in Akbar's development. Once a simple child created by none but feral beasts, the boy is at last showing progress. Akbar speaks in complete sentences and plays other children his age as if he had always been one of them. Today, after our usual lessons, he even asked me to be his father. Really? I don't know about you. You may be strong, but dull. I can't trust you with that. And plus, if I were to make him my son, I'd lose the renown. But he's no longer non-verbal nor feral. So I'll just say, what a triumph! And gain a lot of learning experiences of piety. Still traveling. I'm waiting for her to arrive. She's the one that I desire her the most in the sense of, well, these skills in particular. And I'm going to make her my primary wife once she arrives. Renowned blacksmith in Gravina. Gravina keeps getting the good stuff. The blacksmiths in Gravina have gained renown in recent years for the quality of their craft. This surely bodes well for their livelihoods and for the local economy. I've heard good things about the armor and weapons produced here. So now for the next 20 years, For as long as any county in your domain has the renowned blacksmith kind of modifier, you have access to a decision to employ renowned blacksmiths for your armies. The character modifiers that provide various military benefits in Gravina for the next 20 years. So slightly more reduction of building construction costs, increases the levy reinforcement rate there, as well as holding taxes development growth there. Alright, good to know. Let me see that. Ordinary decisions, VIET is listed as. It'll cost you 40. So you could employ renowned blacksmiths to make armor, which increases defender advantage, make weapons for the armies, attacker advantage, and supplies to the armies. It's reduced men and arms maintenance and faster army movement speed. Excellent. Excelente. And this other woman here, the lustful one, if she survives being wounded, she's on her way too. She recovered from her wounds. And so did she. And she got wounded again because of a brush fire. Because she failed to put it out. Wife Kenwa falls pregnant. And also harassed by mosquitoes. But she managed to use a local herb as a remedy. Alright, my other wives have arrived. So now I'll make you my primary spouse. So she'll join the council to help run the affairs of the realm. Because Kenwa isn't good at almost anything except diplomacy. And also she's been denounced. Which is a crime. At least in the body religion. But I'm not going to imprison her. So, sorry about this. She's more important to me now. Skill-wise. Once she recovers. I was shocked when I caught my ward Akbar trying to steal from the travel test of the visiting Wali Uthman. He blamed the game another child invented, but I could tell he was lying. Just sadist, deceitful. That is contradictory. It's that. That's based on your just. I say you should be honest. You will see others open to you. You can be a sadist, but you have to be honest about it. My wife, Shluida, is that how you say your name? Has been wounded, and her flesh has contracted foulness and swelling. If the right kind of treatment is administered, Allah is merciful. She should make it. Physician wants to know how my wife should be treated. Rabbinic Jew, then there's the backup. Oh no, they're both rabbinics. They can get along fine because they consider other rabbinic faiths to be astray. It's only the Sarmatians that are evil to them. So I think they're gonna be fine with each other. So I'll say, be cautious. Do no more than is necessary. Her wounds become infected recently. Don't lose her. I brought her here for a reason. How are you? Oh, her wounds are covered. Miracle worker! So I guess you were good for something after all. Anyways, back to the council. Also switch this for a while. Train commanders. Glad I brought her here for a reason. Never want to be short on ideas for how to improve the realm's revenues. Barin approached me as I perform a routine troop inspection. Oh, Amir, I noticed that in your own domain, local minor magnates are ever trying to engorge their prices at the expense of their troops. I suggest you give me the authority to oversee the soldiers' payments. And I could combat corruption to make sure that your army is funded in a more efficient fashion. However, I foresee a case becoming aggrieved, as all things concerning my soldiers have hitherto been in his domain. I say you could share this responsibility between you. 90% chance that him has reluctantly agreed to collaborate. For the next 10 years, reduce the Army gold maintenance. 10% chance that they loathe this reform and have unreliable payments, which will still have the reduced Army gold maintenance, but Army toughness will be lowered. There, we negotiated a compromise. The Courtiers made their tax collector paymaster for the Army, an effective measure thus far. Even though our men-at-arms are kind of like minimum, and we relied on Greek troops to fight for us. You're always there for me. Hope you know that I'm grateful. The hostage Ermengarde approached me in a rare moment of contemplation. It's 14 currently. That is what it means to be a guardian. So yes. That's what it means to be a guardian. So profess the appreciation for good guardianship. See, I'm a fair man. That's why I did not want to convert to your culture or religion. I just simply raised you as if you were my own daughter. Even I do have a daughter now. Carling Lodi, that is a cadet branch. And you do speak my language. Appreciate that. And my cover education guardianship sees a lasting friendship. Oh, you too. Glad that I'm making friends with young teenagers. And that's another reason why I became a friend. And Aaron of Babylon, miss you. Hope you're living well over in Samara. Well, actually, he hates the Caliph for a reason. Slightly in-depth arbitrary arrests. Shall reign. Okay, I understand the religion part. Is here rabbinic. Tyrant. Oh, you need to get out of there. You need to get out of that realm before, chaos and disease ensues. I don't know what I would do with you. Oh, what is going on in the Aglebi Sultanate? Disillusion War. The other one that started it, the Afro-Roman. Yes, there's the Afro-Roman culture, which they live in these parts, unique to rice, and also in the game setting. The Afro-Roman is formed from the Romanists, the Roman culture, and the Punics, back in 146 BCE. So yeah, they're remnants. Maritime mercantilism, strong believers, African tolerance, and unique to that area, along with the Maghrebi, granary of Africa. So, you've joined the rebellion as well. Tell you what, if I have a son, I would like to have an alliance with you. Because Sicily and the Emirate of Bari must get along. We must work together. We need to improve our commanders and fighters. That's another 5-year plan that we have here. To make Precopus Gregorius and Napoli more susceptible to my attempts at approaching him, I can include a compliment in Nixon. I'll be sure to mention his, well, you are a theologian, I'll say, unshakable faith in God at the discretion of Akbar. What do you say? Marie's correspondence has been a source of joy for me. I cannot help but think we might both benefit from increased communication. Excellent. Some of my counselors believe the job is theirs by the right of blood or influence alone. How wrong they are. I expect results, yet I'm often disappointed. After a long day, I'm complaining to Shaluida. Shaluida? How do you say her name? When she interrupts me. Let me do something about it, husband. A few lessons might sharpen their wits. What are you talking about, insulted? You need those skills. Because that's another change I would like to do around here. Give me a moment. Listen, I don't care what you think. Actually, as I'm desperate to have more children, preferably sons, actually, stay here with me instead. Lay with her. So, there you go. We should make an alliance with Napoli, because your grandson is betrothed to my daughter. And I wish to recognize the alliance between us. And what's going on over there? Expedition to Napoli. Who? So, Capua decided to bring Bacca over. Well, mainly sheer Moses, but they are losing the war. As they lost the battle, Napoli is being defended. What say you? Well, they're at war, so we can't negotiate with them right now. Now what? Frontier raid, obviously. That tends to happen. Yeah. I've heard good things about you, and I'm interested in starting a written conversation. Hope that this letter finds you willing, for I'm awaiting your swift reply. Oh, yeah. To be real honest, right before this thing popped up, I was thinking about Benevento and says, you know, we kind of don't have an alliance with these guys, and I'm contemplating doing a frontier raid. But you learn to be patient. Start exchanging letters with him. At least we're neutral now. Thank you for your swift response. I'm looking forward to our correspondence. Please, I implore you, pick the first subject for us to discuss. Whew. Let's see. You are a military man, though you are just. Though I'm not quite sure. So. Oh, so please tell me about lawmaking. Alright, I have a son. Praise Allah, Kemal has given birth to a perfect little son. One day, child, you will carry on my legacy. What name would befit an Emir? Let me think. Yes, you see, there's Greek names under Siculo-Arabic culture. So sometimes you get a mix of, you know, like it said, for the culture. Siculo-Arabic naming practices. It uses both Arabic and Greek names. Mukhtar sounds good. May you grow to be strong and wise, my son. You have greatly misjudged me as you think your sycophantry will get you anywhere. I see now your words are simply as empty as your skull. I didn't think I used to value friendship. Oops. At least I learned something. Well, to be fair, you're shy, I'm gregarious, so... Eh. Raid a stronghold by Sicily. Oh, it happened. I didn't see that part. Oh! Hey. Those Greeks, you're causing trouble in my land. That's not fun. Okay, I have 3 things planned. Once I reach 200 gold, I'm going to spend the money on the siege weaponry. Oh, all babies cried, but at little Mukhtar, there is no end to the fears. Desperate want a midwife to ease my worries, but a furrowed brow makes everything worse. Your son is not gaining weight as he should. We will take good care of him, my lord. But in the end, his life is in Allah's hands. Hush now, Mukhtar. Please don't cry. I want you to bear in mind, even as stoic as we are in disease resistance, it doesn't help well for a child. Look again. Yeah, child health, such as measles, are especially dangerous. Any penalty to health child stacks of regular penalties to health, even from the same trait. Ugh. Native wet nurse. Suggest suitable number of candidates for position of wet nurse. Hopefully it doesn't cost me money. Unless I think of an alternative. With the mind to provide the best care for our children, I had my functionaries seek out able women for the role of wet nurse. Now to present a few locals for my judgment. Both are good, but I'd rather take the cheaper option. You know, you're callous, but you get the idea. Nima's good enough. Especially now that I'm expected to have more children in the next few years. Latins are dominating the frontier. We gotta change that in the future. $200 gold, okay. Just exist. Give him more martial support. Because having more of that actually reduces the recruitment cost of men at arms a bit. And in turn, so therefore slightly cheaper to create this and then increase. Station them over here. Gavasana. Yeah, we'll be preparing for offensive wars in future. Since when? An eccentric, a lowborn, who decides to come here. Switch it back. neighbors lost the war against the Caliph in their attempt to retake Cilicia. That part here. Not swayed, and that gave me a bit of stress because I'm gregarious. Give it another go. Those are the expeditionary forces. You're doing a frontier raid as well. Oh my gosh. Naples again, you're being subjected to frontier raids. And in addition, fighting against an expeditionary war. This is why I wanted to have alliance with you, because I feel bad for you. Actually, there might be another way to try to form alliance. Go pay a visit to the realm. Yeah, I'll do a bit of traveling. Because there is a chance that if you take diplomatic option, you may do so. And plus, on the way, I'll be visiting the University of Salerno while I'm over there. Gave me a bit of diplomacy lifestyle experience while I'm over there. Obviously, that area, this is a war zone you'll be dealing with. Yeah, get a forest guide, since the woods appear to be dangerous at this time. It's only going to be a quick travel. I just wanted to get there, pay a visit, and see if we can negotiate an alliance between us. Take diplomatic out. Bring a Serbian mercenary, why don't you? And an Armenian forest guide. So, do a bit of traveling. Nah, let him eat it. And Knight Aaron. Haven't we seen another one like that in the past? Oh boy. So, yeah, that fountain water stuff again. What are we, skill-wise? Oh, you make a good commander. Not just a good commander. And you're a decent fighter. You know, make us see the reason to join our court. I don't want to go another one of those silly, you know, adventures. Just join us. It's the university. The physician is sick. I think I know a cure. Alright, I arrived in Napoli. As I take a look, Benevento will no doubt win that war. In the army of Napoli, which only has some ballistas. This is why I said I feel bad for them, and I would like to have an alliance with them. Okay, this is not what I thought that I was hoping for. I mean, the opinion's already high enough. Maybe perhaps learn a tactic. Learn how the Greek soldiers fight, since I'm such a bit of a Grecophile, admittedly. Learn how to fight. 52% chance I learn a new tactic, which I become either a forder or an open terrain expert. 47% chance that I just get frustrated and nothing was done. New tactic. A forder. Crosses rivers and straits without advantage penalties. Yeah, but faster travel speed, that's good. Despite the ongoing wars over there. And open terrain. Okay, which one did I get exactly? Okay, it was open terrain expert. It was forder, but at the same time, I was like, no, I prefer open terrain expert. So good. Advantage on plains and farmlands, which there's plenty of that in this region. That's good. Didn't need a faster travel speed, though. So, again, despite all this, the visit, which I thought it's like, hey, let's come in, maybe negotiate alliance. No, not it. But the inn we stayed in Napoli last night was surprisingly a wonderful place. I don't know what inn or its staff did right, but said about the inn allowed most of us to sleep through the night so peacefully. This morning there are smiles on the faces of many of my entourage as we prepared to leave. What a wonderful place this was. I can return back whenever I want to, but I want to keep eyes on what's going on out there. They're chasing the poor Neapolitan army. Oh, not again. By 30! Oh my god! By the greatest! You guys are trouble! How much does it cost to negotiate with them? 50. And they're causing trouble down there too. It seems while I'm away on business or anything like that, those Greeks in their strongholds are causing trouble. And I can't do anything about them unless I negotiate with them. And, he's been in prison. It's over. Frontier raid. What area are they raiding exactly? Yes. So, got this right. There's a land stronghold in Napoli itself. Nola, there's a land stronghold there. And Sarah, will it have another land stronghold or no? No. No land stronghold to speak of. They just took up and went. So that means they've been beaten. All I can say is, please, let us help you. If you get beaten and Barca takes over because of Capua, I'd be willing to set it because of an expedition. Either with you guys or someone else. Because I will not stand for this. Oh, I am standing here. But they are vulnerable. Oh my god, it's come of age. It was time she left my care. Always the clever child. I'm going to prove time and time again. Over the course of her studies, she had a natural affinity for careful planning and more than the misdirection. She now knows a lot of ways to get what she wants. Most importantly, she is highly aware of the political implications of those wants. She's an intricate web weaver. Till we meet again, oh my god. My hostage, oh my god, is now a woman. And looking forward to soon being sent home, as is the custom. Her father, Imperator Augustus Louis, would certainly be hoping as such. I, however, must look to the interests of my own house. So Having a hostage just gives you prestige, renown, and piety income. Now I'll just stay here a little longer. Get a perpetual hook. I'll say, please stay here for a while longer. At least this frees up that bit of space. Yes, it worked. It did increase the wandering experience as I went, as a child, because it makes more sense and realistic. Peasant revolt. Should the peasants win, that's increased autonomy. This is sad. Again, we're not officially allies, but it feels like I'm backing the wrong horse. Disillusion war, and there's a Orthodox uprising in these areas, and an Afro-Roman Catholicus uprising in the areas where those Catholics live. And I want you to keep in mind, these religious uprisings compared to a regular peasant uprising, religious uprisings means they're fighting for their independence. If there is an emergence of an Afro-Roman state, then that's amazing. And there's also a peasant uprising. Well, actually, that's more localized, not the whole realm. Home realm isn't mad, it's just this area here. But at least mine are more well-behaved. The eclectic mix of peoples of southern Italy and Sicily has given a rise of unique culture affected by the myriad of influences. It is now clear that the people of the Emirate of Taranto no longer see themselves as Longobardo, but as native Siciliani. So there's Sicilians now down here. And the Sicilian culture, yeah, they are spreading. But however, the Siculo-Arabic culture not yet spread to here. We may have to change that sooner or later if we can get more in control. We do have a seneschal, right? Yes. The Norseman. I'm gonna need your help with this. It's gonna take 3 years to get it back to full control again. While I'm just spending my time in Napoli for as long as I like. An adventurer has been landed. Notice that Popo was granted Mesen at the negotiations with the Sorbian ruler of Lusatia. True sign of another ruler. Tried to obtain me gold, but it seems like I often let women run the realm. And those Latins are now raiding your land. This is a dangerous country to be in. And I was hoping that the future alliance of Napoli would represent that I will help them stabilize their country. Akbar, come of age. and active with these Aztecs. No surprise that he's done well in his studies of war combat. Shown a great aptitude in both battle tactics and the management of armies. He'll make a fine commander one day. I'm sure. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Educate both of them. As time tick along, eventually their expedition will come to an end, but they'll lose the peasant uprising, and there's yet another frontier raid. This time it's by the Sicilian. So they did switch cultures. It's definitely going to be ending up in a periphery phase then. While meanwhile, I'll try to get things under control. Not yet full. It's time has come for me to leave and head home. I've overstayed my welcome in Napoli. You're in a dangerous war-torn territory. Are you the new one? No, he's the same old one. We're making good time in our efforts to reach Bari, and the flats of Eboli, or Ebole, how do you say the place, allows us to lower our guard for a few moments. When we reach the peak of the valley and look below, I noticed another entourage diligently pacing forward. They seem to be surveying the area, taking notes and discussing the scenery. Still observing the group, it would appear as if masked riders with raised weapons are quickly approaching from the east. This seems like an ambush, and I hesitate. Is it really my responsibility to safeguard other travelers? I must act. I got to do it. So, sit back, I will remember this. Me and my entourage ride head first into the would-be assassins, blindsiding them completely. How competent do you not have to be to not have a clear view of your rear? We easily slice through the few that resist, and the rest run off to the wilds. I look up to see and sit back, stare at me, eyes wide, mouth slightly agape. He snaps out of it. His facial features adjust, but he still seems surprised and grateful for my intervention. He beckons me to come over. That's my good deed for today. +1 increased martial and chivalrous deeds for the next 10 years. General opinion up and levy size up. Oh, good. When it comes to war preparations. Charge of food supply. Nature provide for us. My best friend's been in prison by the peasant revolt. Hey. Hey. Can't pay the ransom because he's traveling to the prison location. Where are you taking him? Over there. A peasant uprising. Seems started there because they were too busy dealing with a sponsored conquest of Faz. Car looks trying to move into there. At least they're putting him on house arrest. Oh my God. By Allah. That's it. We gotta speak to them. because the control is so low. We're gonna have a talk. But first, hold a mystical communion. Begin in peace. Yes. Just what you need. Should be more open-minded. Which sounds a lot like him, to be honest. And gained some wandering experience on the way back, so yeah, the mod does work. In less than a year's time, pick up Doko Conquest, and then we're going. They're devastating our capital. That's our main source of the economy that comes from there. Gregorios has been killed. And I do have her in prison. Not to mention Sicily. Now we have no chance to have an alliance in Napoli, so all that was for naught. And Peasant Revolt wins. Chaos reigns in Napoli. Hey, about you, Patrol? We'll accept. Okay, an alliance with a mafia at least. At least they're more stable. There you go. Yes, we make allies with infidels. Because I see usefulness in that. And willing to intervene on their matters. Stop scheming. Not quite full yet. I need to have at least 150 gold. That would be ideal before I begin to negotiate with these people. By these people, I mean those community of Greek soldiers and colonists that still live there. They're troublemakers. And I need to negotiate with them to tell them to stop. A village in Conversana has a giant tree that was planted many generations ago to provide shade for the villagers. This is something of a popular site to visit. America has visited several times. It suggested I could donate some funds to assist in caring for the tree. 10 years? 20 years. Good idea, son of funds. It's only 30 gold. It's a bit excessive to keep that tree maintained. This option lasts how long a county modifier in question will last compared to the default option. And you can visit the giant shade tree to relax. So for the next 20 years, development growth up. As one of the villages in this province is famous for its giant shade tree. Even those from the neighboring villages for a way to come enjoy themselves in this mighty tree. So good to know. If I become too stressed for whatever reason, there's a place to go visit and contemplate. And you don't need to travel far. Increased development of a county of a different faith or culture. Convert an involved ruler or county. We should do conversions of our own. But unfortunately, you're too low skilled. And we can't appoint anyone because it does not have this option. Are there any other branches of Islam that allows such a thing. It's temporal for life. There's a deep endless hole in my heart. Aaron was a constant companion and confidant. And to have it ripped from my life feels like a mortal wound which I'll never recover. I unclasped the note he gave me. The last note he will ever give me. I realized bitterly to try to read. All I could do was move away from my face. That his precious words contained within it, not washed away by my tears. Though there is a crowd of many mourners around me, never felt so alone. Last we heard of him, he was in house arrest. But now he died of cancer. Yes, cancer. Didn't last long, either. Perhaps those conditions of prison were terrible, or they botched the cancer treatment and that led to his early passing. There's a crowd of many mourners around. Never felt so alone. As I'm gregarious, I say I need to be strong and move forward. I have other friends. But however, for the next 30 years, I'll be having an ongoing heartache. He was a best friend who stuck with me for about a dozen years or so before he left to go return to his home in Mesopotamia. They imprisoned him, and he died there. Likely remained in house arrest, and the cancer was probably a real bad cancer, and then it took away, because the last time I heard of him, he was healthy. He was in house arrest and he was healthy. If I remember seeing it correctly. Now I'm more prone to have more stress gain than usual. Frontier raid. Naples has become a punching bag to anyone. Might as well just, someone should have. If I had my way, I would send an expedition and put it out of its misery. My master of the hunt, Asbion, has brought me a man who claims to sell trained hunting raptors. These are the finest birds. I raised them from the eyes of myself. They will not let you down in here. And a swarm of hawks and falcons of various has sit calmly on the cage before me. Very good, but I'm not interested. A fortnight ago, my mufti presented me with an idea to establish a religious militia in my domain, tasked with enforcement of the strict adherence to the dogmas of the faith, face the opposition of all the other councils. I must defend this plan to point out the increased levels of control achieved as measure is taken. Well, what's going on in Bari is chaotic because of these damned Greeks, which I'm going to need to negotiate with them soon. That's excessive. Yeah, they'll help me with the control, but the popular opinion will not do for anyone. So I'll say, no, it's not going to happen. But all the other counselors will be happy about that. Not happening. A week ago, Amin, the spy master, Gaila, reports, a boat of some sort, patched from the scraps of wood and cloth, washed ashore in Bitonto. Bitonto is over there, next door. A handful of men were crammed aboard, their bodies almost wasted to the bone. Some could no longer stand. Once their leader was sufficiently recovered, my agents arranged for his transfer to the city, should you wish to hear the extraordinary voyage directly. He would not say that. Let us hear the story, gregarious Sawdan say. A thin, tired man is ushered in, bowing politely. His voice is firmer than his appearance suggested. Most kind lord, I am Bardas, Greek. Boatswain on the ill-fated vessel Gallet, the single-masted cog sailing out of Deodora. That's in Dalmatia. I know that place. We were on the first leg of a pilgrimage, but that's also the last. We soon encountered menacing gales, and as night fell, our rudder snapped, leaving us lost to the dark and howling winds. Eventually, the cog crashed into a shoal of barren rock, tearing itself apart. A score of men left alive and gathered what cargo and debris they could have salvaged, and thanked the heavens for this minute of fraction. Alas, our troubles were not ended. The rocky pools and sparse cockles could not sustain us all. Sailor pauses, seeming to gather resolve to continue the tale. Let me take a drink. And if I remember correctly, Diodora is the Greek name of Zadar. Zadar, Croatia. Today. Anyways, go on. As the situation deteriorated, the crew and passengers alike descended into a state of depravity. There were murders. A few succumbed to cannibalism. Please understand the deprivation we were facing if you cannot forgive. The last dozen of us knew we could not endure if we stayed. Hence we assembled a makeshift raft and decided to chance the sea again, rather than face certain death on that barren islet. Yet only the 5 of you were found and pinned onto in the Jex, Mahimin. We drifted for weeks. Not everyone could endure these further miseries, so we jettisoned the sickest to stretch our meager rations. There you have it, without a word of untruth. But the fallacies will not rescue my character. Well... Look, the just in me would say, to commit murder and cannibalism, imprison this man. Even though, what would I gain from this? I mean, he's alright in my book. But as I'm gregarious, I'll say, stay here and regale us of your outstanding adventures. The gregarious man in him says, stick around. There might be some use to you. One morning, while strolling along a capital on the company, I mentioned a subject that was set to nagging for some time. It soon became clear I was worried about the pressure of the various factions in my realm might exert upon me to assemble the costly estates of the realm, or to discuss matters of long-term policy concerning everyone. And the knowledge of this request will only be voiced by my treasury's patch. It is clear from a political point of view, I will reap additional benefits towards prestige and chance success from the one ticket to assemble the states around instead of reacting to the factions demand. As I've been warned, kindness of mine is now at best. Thanks for the worry. I would implement this if I have the money. Oh no, there's a reason why there's a warning. While traveling along my domain in the countryside of the Emirate of Bari, our caravan was suddenly ambushed by a band of thugs that seek riches and loots to sell. Unfortunately, probably these men know the language of steel. A very dangerous situation, even if 2 of my bodyguards provide additional layer of security. I'll try to outwit part of the bandits by using a savvy speech, thus reducing the percentage of chance of me dying by 9. But there's a 66% chance that, a 50% chance that my fighters may die here. 30% chance that God Matero will die. So, if any of your counties bore a higher risk as less than 90 control, but none less than 75, you stand a minimal chance of suffering this attack. However, having countries of very low control, the less of the worse, raise additional risk when traveling through them. The outlaws rule the part of territory. It was exactly the consequence that happened to your character while traveling along the countryside of a dangerous county. Your learning and prowess will serve as the modifiers. Good, neutral, or bad for picking this options. You attempt to dissuade some of the bandits from fighting. One of your courtiers or guests might end up dead as a casualty due to this event. So you can either choose to get the bodyguard to help you. No, these are not my bodyguards. These are just random courtiers who happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Try it out with them. Oh my goodness. Woodman has been killed, and I inherit this land here, which is a home of a Siculo-Arabic culture. Fortified Sicilian settlements that the previous owner has done. Well, we do have the good chancellor here. Every little bit helps the prestige gain. And just as once, I want you to promote that culture. Try to spread the Siculo-Arabic culture there again. Sorry that this had to happen to you. And I did inherit some of your wealth, so thank you. I will use this wealth right now. Long before I will assemble the estates, first I got to speak with the Greeks. I got to bargain with the Sicilian Strongholds. Don't troublesome, the Sicilian Strongholds can be bargained with. From now on, make an offer that they can't refuse. But as we know, as a wild frontier, Sicily is dotted with Sicilian strongholds. From foreign military bases to remnant bastions of older communities, they're a thorn on the side for commoners and rulers alike. That doesn't mean we can't negotiate with them to gain something of mutual benefit. I'll gain 75 prestige, and add negotiations with Greek strongholds for the next 10 years into counties with the Greek stronghold, which prevents them from negative events so they can stop raiding my land. If you have at least level 2 in the Greek track of the Signori trait, look again. Oh, I'm not up there yet. If you're not level 2, then you can bargain for further bonuses. The gold of the strongholds demand is randomized between 50 and 300 based on my traits, skills, and legitimacy level. While I have a high legitimacy and I'm pretty good at any skill, I think it should be cheaper. Now. So now. 1 second. Let me rephrase that here. Make an offer they can't refuse. My attempts to reach out the Greek strongholds in my realm for negotiations have borne fruit. A prominent leader amongst them, a certain Orthodox Greek man by the name of Aristarchus, was sent as their representative. Following this round of negotiations, Aristarchus proposed that I pay his people 81 in gold, or an equivalent amount in goods, in exchange, and they will not conduct any raids, nor harass the inhabitants of the regions where their strongholds currently reside for a number of years. Taken the wrong way, sounds like an awful lot like a tribute payment. But on the other hand, this could also benefit both parties in the long run. Very well, I agreed to this deal. So, 16 trade experience, which will give me a level 1 up there. And so that way, that would have a fort level 1 in these counties where they live. It's fort level 1, so raid time increased and more development growth. Stop raiding, stop reducing our control, and help us with the development. There's an agreement. So now we are at peace with them. So that'll put a stop to them. Bird appears to be learning a great deal in his duties as a tax collector, which is made clear as he accounts for his most recent endeavors. Turns out I was very thankful to keep such detailed records. I'll make sure to bring in ledgers from me from now on. Yep. Don't roughen him up. He has one eye. I didn't notice that you have a glass eye. Do you? Have a... No, damn it. Because one eye didn't... And also he has cancer. And malnourished. Taxes do benefit the both of us, so... That'll increase your aptitude. For many years, there have been rumors about a vast landmass to the west of Iceland. Still, no one dared to invest in any sort of risky adventures to discern whether such stories are true, until now. News is traveling across the Northern Sea about the expedition, sponsored by our Hroðgar of Munich, to explore the seas west of Iceland in search for new lands. The expedition will be led by a certain adventurer named Hroðgar. If these lands exist, and they prove to have territory which can be settled, then there's no doubt that Hroðgar will be the first to establish his family's presence there by finding a settlement. Is history about to be made? 9 years after this began, and they're already exploring. Alright, how much is to assemble these states? Enough. So we can summon a different social factions inside the realm in order to attempt to set a constructive policy agenda over the long term. The chance of success depends positively on my skills higher than 11 and negatively on the skills lower than 8. 1 second. Here it is. You could use the Ducal Conquest Castelline, but more importantly, title creation costs reduced. So meaning, if I want to create the title of Calabria, when we take more control of it, actually you do own 3, but I don't have 200. Remember, this is part of the thing I've been wanting to do. Is to hold 3 Dutch titles. I only hold 1. I need to hold another. But 30%. Ah, legitimacy level discount. I didn't know that. The base cost was 250, so Dutchy. Now it's 200. You know what? Save the money. Disregard the estates. Don't talk to those people. Just sit here, do nothing. We could start exchanging letters again. Which honestly, I should be switching focus. It would be nice to have this, but I'll have many children, so this would be unnecessary. Should go to wandering. Internal affairs focus. Guiding progress and prosperity through a personal touch. Stewardship +1 and intrigue +1. Plus more control growth too. Start fixing the control of Bari. Every little bit helps. And also, it encourages that I need to travel more often, but I don't want to do any more traveling at this time. Seriously, I didn't know that reduced de jure count is needed for creating a title. I mean, I often see those parts, but this is the last part that I often overlooked. Hey, tell me about sword practice. You're gallant. You know this. You know this better than I do. What say you? My son in Arab-Berber, who's still sickly, 3 years old, but I think he may make it. There's never a quiet moment. My son in Arab-Berber is so full of questions. I do my best to encourage his curiosity, but sometimes I cannot help but get exhausted by a constant stream of thoughts and queries. When a father and a mother love each other very much, so it will be curious. To think that you ask about a subject so dear to me. You surely know me better than most. Since you indulge me so, I must ask, is there anything I could do for you? Actually, perhaps we could arrange a trade deal for 5 years. Because our economy is in shambles because those Greeks were causing trouble, but we told them to stop raiding. And then they'll start cooperating. Until we have control restored in about 2 years' time. And with that reduced control, you don't make as much tax as you used to. It's reduced by 37% at this point currently. So a trade deal would make the most sense. That's economically intensive. It may make a little difference, but every little bit helps. My second son. Abdullah will be his name. It's a good thing you decided to pick internal affairs this soon, because we need to get control up quickly. Unfortunately, he too is sickly. I am cursed. I wasn't exaggerating. Yes, they're full, but we need to get this fixed. The weakness has plagued my son since his birth has finally released its hold on him. Relief washes over me as I see Mukhtar running around with all the other children. May you grow strong, Mukhtar. As I patiently wait fetching my clothes, the servant says, "Oh my lord, no one can find your garments. I'm surrounded by combatants," I muttered, storming from my chamber. It's in my son Mukhtar's room. I discovered not only raiments, but also the boy's wetness. I had no part in my deed. He dressed it himself. Halima responds with a giggle. So he's a prince of fashion? That's what you'll be known as to me. I can see in your future. You should be one for diplomacy. I can see that already. The one to run the Emirate of Bari. I could envision that now. Him being a prince of fashion and all of the elegance that the man can have when he grows up. That's my vision. Become ill now? You know, what's strange about this idea of the pirates deal? Because if you contact with them by establishing relations, that's unjust. And yet, collaborate with the local pirates by establishing a pirate den here in Bari, that is actually isn't just, but it's like it's not just but more unjust. It's like it's more of economic opportunity. And you can bypass the to negotiate the contact with pirates. So we don't need to establish relations if we have one right here. I've been paying less attention to what's been going on. You made contact with the Mediterranean pirates. I was talking about that. The Sicilian stronghold has appeared, and also disappears. Oh. If you raid over an area of an already existing stronghold. See, look. There used to be a land stronghold, but since you did that raid yourself, you actually made it disappear. See, stuff like that makes me want to do raids, but only to get rid of strongholds. Aha! This gives me a perfect excuse to do a Sicilian frontier raid just to get rid of that Latin stronghold. Because that's a way to colonization. So apparently it tried to appear, but the land strong already existed and they decided they took up and leave. Perfect excuse of a war, no? But first, We are about to create the Duchy of Calabria soon. Yes, I'm willing to spend all the money on it, and then raise some to begin to preparation of a war. When you'll gain 300 prestige and 25 legitimacy for this. Got it. Grant to destroy primary. For future reference, assemble over there. As I stand in my dining room, warming my hands against the fire, lost in my thoughts, unknown maid approaches me, tears in her eyes. After elaborate curtsies, looks me in the eyes, says, "My Emir, the sickly offspring, the beloved Abdullah, didn't resist the illness that befell him. It died some moments ago." Without any other words to say, she stands in front of me, tears flowing, waiting for my next command. My poor child. In the Dark Ages, Mod, the death rate of infants was indeed high. As Abdullah was born, sick child, unfortunately, death took him away. I had many hopes for you, my sweetest child. All the things you would learn, experience, and do. There's so many possibilities, a whole life to live. Maybe you would have had children of your own one day, but now none of those things will ever come to be. Rest in peace, little Abdullah. Yes, I keep using the word Sicilian frontier raid. This is what does. Like what happens when you enforce demands. You will gain legitimacy, I'll become ordained, gain 25 gold, some fame, and hold on. News is spreading like wildfire by the Avengers who just returned from the great trip to the west. Apparently he discovered a vast landmass to the west of Iceland, which he calls Greenland. Rumor has it Greenland is actually a desolate, cold land, and the name was chosen as a cunning ploy to attract settlers. Nonetheless, the entrepreneurial minded have taken note of the fact that Greenland is home to a large number of walrus, among other valuable luxury goods. Due to the rarity of ivory, there is no doubt whoever controls the flow of trade in Greenland will reap great benefit and influence, and intrepid settlers have started to make their way there to settle its distant shores. Though Greenland is too far away from us to meaningful affect its affairs, its discovery and settlement could have profound impact on the commercial, cultural, and political networks of the North Atlantic world. From Iceland to Greenland, and possibly beyond. Again, all of this mechanic stuff is irrelevant to me. And I've done a colonization of Greenland series of sorts way back when, pre-tours and tournaments, which feels like ages ago. Now anyways, so prestige gain, resolute, reduced control of them, 40% chance that an Arab stronghold will appear then, 40% chance that they lose the stronghold, 26% chance that the building is destroyed and we earn more extra gold, or nothing happens. Don't start it right now. Save your money. Look again towards colonization. Regarding conversions. See, getting rid of a Sicilian stronghold helps with it. Converting an involved county. all the Greek Catholics. Another son. Don't name him Abdullah. That was one would think names bad luck. Yasser. Sounds silly. One would think. My tax collector died of cancer. We got a few good ones. You'll do, because you're younger and last longer. Unfortunately, I cannot afford all of these. No. I don't have a steward to tell me that. You won the raid. You'll do. Keep it up. Cultural fanatic enters the scene. One day as I was paying a visit to the minor dwellings of my capital county, someone manages to bypass my henchman, swiftly approaches me, dagger in hand, yelling, "This is for you to stop converting the culture of my county, you lovely scum." Fortunately, I have 2 bodyguards closely. Nevertheless, I must fight for my life. Use my diplomacy to influence the fanatic. This event happens because you're attempting to convert the culture of a county. As always, there are radicals available to risk everything in order to take revenge in your actions. Your prowess and diplomacy determine the final action of this outcome. Old age is starting to catch up to me. Oh, bodyguard got killed. He was with me during all those travels. He was a good man. Now, I don't have a caravan master right now. There's no need for one yet. Let's take a stroll in the castle. I passed by the library of my tax collector. Seems to be quite a respondent state. Oh God, he mumbles himself. I cannot do this. These text treatises are too old, too vague, due to summers. I'm ever to find anything here. I only want to check a minor detail before hanging out the provinces again. Calm down, we can have a look at it together. Again! Son's being sickly. Only you've been lucky. The day after. When I held court today, I noticed that Angus looked extremely tired. It was clear he was trying his hardest to pay attention and failing. Turns out he attended a small party with a few friends last night and got really drunk and is suffering from a bad hangover. You should go home and rest. Every little bit helps, because I want to become illustrious, because I want to do a conquest war in future for Salerno. Don't do holy war, because you may invite some Catholic movers against you. Don't want to start that. Stop! Grand Tournament. I won't be there in time. Even if I did, it would be too late. What kind of tournament is it? Horse race. I don't know about that, because... God dang, that's far away! And you don't have a caravan master. We do have an excellent one, but that's not going to increase the speed. But it's good to know we have someone who's excellent at it. No. Discourage that. Even if I were to make it over there, there's a increased chance of delay, so don't go. My wife, Amir Menzies, once again absent for Chambers Nightfalls. Spit distantly, lost the thought already simple. Matter of satisfaction to resume. Could you warm in someone else's bed? You're deceitful soul. I will investigate this myself. 52% chance of success in learning about love life. If she's been unfaithful, I'll learn about it. 40% chance to find no proof of infidelity. No proof. Bari is of Sicilian culture now, not Siculo-Arabic. That county is not of my culture. Unfortunately, it does not have city planning compared to Siculo-Arabic, which does. So we can't build new cities and temples locally. Again, I'm willing to do frontier raids, even if it goes up the periphery a bit. Only to attempt to get rid of that land stronghold. And for money. I think we should be alright from there. So, organize an army. Just increase the size a bit. And then we'll get moving. So, one of the last acts of the episode will be to go to Sicily. Is to go to war against Byzantium for a Sicilian frontier raid. It's gotta get done. Yeah, no title change hands. Plus, given the sheer size of the army, it's going to take a while for them to assemble the army over there while we take them on. So, I'm not scared of them. Plus, I have allies. Weak ones, though, but still. They're allies. Go. This is a frontier raid, folks. The excuse is just to get rid of that Latin settlement. And they've been improving the buildings over there. So. I could lead it myself, because your advantage is 13. Mine is 17. And over there is forest. In fact, this is all forest. There's no plains. So advantage them. And go ahead and call a few allies in, even though it's a short war. Why on earth would I want to do that? Just a few support troops would help. Yeah. Not much, but they'll support us with not only war cows, but also the, well, that's someone. That's Berber cavalry. Oh, you guys up there, you'll be bringing ballistas. The ballistrae, which is uniquely Greek. We don't have that kind of war material. Our first offensive war. But it's a frontier raid, which war score does move faster under frontier raid. 4,000 of us, while God knows how many are out there. But we can take them on. And we do have siege weaponry. Our allies do not. Oh dear, they're bringing friends. Actually, no. This is not related to me. Talk about good timing. Dealing with frontier raid. One, they're defending in a holy war. Now there's a claimant war. That'll keep them busy. So we'll be unopposed. And it's my first time in years since I've led troops, referencing the pre-867 deeds that he did. He being Sawdan. It seems the... It's like, yes, that's a loyalist. We're about to see an independent insular Sicily, with the exception of Noto there, which was due to a peasant revolt, which was won. So it owns, Noto and Melita, Malta, if you will. My daughter, TT. On their way. Again, we're gonna take this place unopposed. We will win this war quickly. Well, it's not a war, it's a raid. In attempts to get rid of a Latin stronghold and possibly establish our own. Arab-Berber, if you want to be more specific. I step out of my tent and rub my eyes. The siege camp spawns before me. A great knot of men and smoking torches. Flags and banners fly in a damp wind. Bright colors mixing hopelessly in the grey rain. Everything is covered in thick sheen of grey damp, like a mud-laden lake. A low return approached me and forced the siege ended. I got on my bodyguards head to the edge of the camp. And found out a stylos stands for me. A canyon of shattered walls and the fields between, and empty carts. Their furniture's frames smolder, surrounded by bones of horses and shattered swords. Bodies littered the grass, rotting, covered in foul stench and decomposition. Survivors huddle in makeshift huts made from felled trees and fallen bricks. My men looking in different directions. Spare it, because I'm just. As the siege of the Sawdan of Stylos comes to an end, I sit and ponder the events that occurred as I commanded this siege's strategic decisions. Were their defenses too weak? Were my men or weapons too strong? Either way, it certainly feels like something was off. My liege, a lot of our fortified buildings still use some of the same technology, begins Tamasha, or another thing look considered. I look around the room and make myself clear. Until technological developments allow us to improve our forts more, we must, well, rely on the strength of our faith. So you decide to put your faith in greater powers to protect your realms. Just pray for protection. Makes the buildings slightly expensive and take a little bit of a while. So rather than invest financially in fortifications, this character said turned their back on the workforce improving their councils and opted to pray for protection instead. Because he's a pious man. So now the war score will be ticking up faster. It's a level 3 fort. Let me help you out with that. twins. Told you, don't name them Abdullah. And you know what? For once, give them Greek-sounding names. Alayadora and Eugenios. Those are twin-sounding names. Which is just to reflect on the man's, you know, him being a Grecophile and all, and speaks Greek, so therefore started giving Greek names to children. Over the last months, I've noticed that my steward has been lobbying the whole council for a tentative plan he has been developing to improve the domain, and that includes areas where every one of my councils will have a say. Now that the plans have been presented, I find it to include a host of factors and variables that are going to provide a sound foundation that would help immensely in the development of my domain. In the knowledge of all the council is eager to implement, and that will carry the price tag. I must decide what to do. Oh yes, we do want that. Order the council to implement a major infrastructure effort in all the areas that I control. Meanwhile, our scouts report there is no imminent risk of an enemy attack tonight. As I watch my soldiers, fatigued from the day's march, set up yet another camp. I cannot help but wonder if tonight's respite is our last. My last. If the battle is joined tomorrow, might I not be slain? And what of starvation, exposure, disease, accidents? Life is never as fragile as during wartime. If today were to prove my last day, how should I spend the evening? How about with my friend Asbiel? When I first met you, we kind of did get along, and I called you a greedy man, but clearly, we do see each other in value. Of the twins, this is the sickly one. You attracted immigrants. Independent insular Sicily of Siculo-Arabic origin. Hey, what say you? The healthy one. Now we have a strong ally within. Because we, Sunimos, got to stick together. Presently, I'm facing a serious policy dilemma due to the power carried by my own word. The matter in question is a complex management proposition. Support an increase of bureaucracy which will tax the capacity to manage my domain that will benefit my vassals while lowering my future provincial incomes. As my vassals lobbied for the council along, I was able to postpone the issue while promising to support the scheme in order to keep everyone happy. Unfortunately, I'm now back against the wall where I would either enact the policy or refuse it, creating tyranny in the process. Or maybe there's a third option, though, if I'm creative and think outside of the box. Present a creative alternative, so I act creatively and out of the box in order to fool everyone in the matter of finances. I have a high stewardship, but I do have centralization lifestyle. Yes, lifestyle. Yes. Not eccentric nor fickle, not an administrator. Having less in that. However, I'm temperate as well, so that's a bit half and half. So I'll present a creative alternative. If successful, I'll gain political jockeying, reducing the domain tax, or be a big failure and have a poor bargain. Success! I managed to gaslight everyone with my mastery of stewardship and creative thinking. Aha! Even though it does reduce the taxes a bit, but at least that doesn't hurt. And don't forget that we're war profiteering, as we do have income while at war. Each passing day this score ticks up, because that's how Sicilian frontier raids work. Siculo-Arabic large minority. He just finished it, and yet it didn't change. There's only 4 or 5 gold there. And there was Siculo-Arabic culture down there. That was a majority, but now they're minorities. You know what? Take the 4 gold and then end it. Well, they took it. I forgot they were the siege leader. Okay. My legitimacy level is increased to ordained. I'll gain 25 gold out of this. Gain some fame. 40% chance that a Arab-Berber stronghold will be established there. And also 40% chance that they lose the land stronghold. 26% chance the building over there is destroyed, earning extra gold. Let's see what happens. Sicilian stronghold appears and disappears. So we replaced it. Replaced the land stronghold with an Arab-Berber stronghold. So now they're going to be a bother. So there you have it. Not what I had in mind, but it'll do. As long as it gets closer to becoming illustrious. As I'll be on my way home. Seems the best way to get more prestige is probably hold a feast, which we should do that in future. Cancer. Which again, we need to take over all of Salerno in order to usurp the title. You need 2 or 4, but I'd rather have all of it. Again, Holy War is an option, but they may join a war, so you be careful. So it's better off you just wait until you're prestigious enough to make it happen. And then I will get the 2000 renown once I take the decision to manage the Sicilian frontier. All that will occur in the next episode. And also in that next episode we'll be picking up some wandering perk traits. Especially whenever I get to do, inspections. Especially on areas that has less control. Get back to that. So, we'll have it all settled in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.